Hi there guys, and welcome back to my channel. I just want to start off by saying please excuse this absolute mess. I actually haven't got out of bed yet this morning, and I just want to make it clear I'm not filming this on the same day that I filmed the actual video, because I've just started editing the video and realised that there's no introduction to it whatsoever. It's quite early on a Friday morning, it's about 7:30, and I've been up for a little while as Charlie has got a shift at the hospital today, so I thought I'd be productive, you know, and start editing, and then only to realise that there's a whole section of my video missing. So I figured I'd just film a quick introduction now, and I can't lie, I can't really remember what I was going to say, as it has been a little while since I filmed this. So all I know is that I basically wanted to show you guys in a bit more detail what my day-to-day life is as a student. I do mention in the video that not every day is the same, as I'm sure you can all imagine, but I just wanted to explore it a little bit more, as I always speak about being a student, but I've never really shown you guys what a typical-ish sort of day in my life looks like. So that's basically what I wanted to get across. So yeah, without any further ado, I might as well just jump straight into the videos. There's really not much else for me to say. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, then please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe down there below, and I will see you all very, very soon. So this video was filmed on a Friday, which is definitely one of my quieter days uni content wise in terms of face-to-face content, but I decided to kickstart it off by doing an early morning library session, as I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to get done. I wanted to be really productive, and Charlie kindly offered to take me there and pick me back up. As you can see, the library was so empty. At the moment we have to book time slots, and you are only allowed a maximum of 4 hours due to COVID, and it seems that maybe that's not working out very well for people. I don't know, it's always quiet when I visit, but I basically walked in, found my seat. I always tend to try and sit on this exact table, 252, not too sure why, but here's my desk. The first thing I like to do is get out absolutely everything that I need for the day, so that I don't have to carry on fiddling in my bag, as the whole library is silent study at the minute and that can be quite awkward. I forgot to have breakfast in the morning and was in a rush, so I decided to bring some along with me. Here's my new, yet again, academic planner. If you know, you know. I started my day off by eating my raspberries and the rest of my breakfast, as I literally cannot function on an empty stomach. So the first half of my library session I actually dedicated to my educational psychology module, and the first thing I did was go back through a case study that I struggled with from a lecture the previous day on the comorbid difficulties of special educational needs, as I'm trying to make sure that I really understand all of the content that is being taught to me this year, as I hate trying to play catch up when I'm doing my assignments, because I miss out little bits that I don't understand and think I can come back to them later. So I'm trying to get on top of that as soon as possible, really, so that it saves me the stress and frustration further along down the line. Again, to further my understanding on some of the things that I'm finding difficult, I decided to make a keyword bank of any terms that are unfamiliar to me in the educational psychology module. I think doing this will be so useful when it comes to doing my assignment, or even just understanding future lectures, as I really struggle with identifying some of these words. Like, some of them are so complicated and I've never really heard of any of them before, so this is going to be a useful thing for me to go back to when I'm struggling to understand what's going on. And this was the end result of my keyword bank. I'll go through it slowly in case anybody wants to screenshot and make a little note of these, as I know some people watching might be taking similar courses to me and find this very useful. At the moment we're getting given quite a lot of further reading each week, so I started to get on top of that for the same module before I had a seminar. As I said, I had a seminar at 11 o'clock, so at this point I put away my educational psychology work and moved on to a new topic, which was for my dissertation and ethical considerations module. This seminar we focused on the ethical considerations part in regards to Zimbardo's experiment and Milgram's experiment, and discussed why these would no longer pass the ethics application procedure in today's day and age.
After the seminar, I decided to stick with the work for that same module, and this involved me putting my background research that I've done for my dissertation into the literature tables, which I have previously spoken about in a few other videos. Here they are in a little bit more detail in case anyone is interested, but you can find out more in my dissertation advice video if you are as well.
Hi guys, apologies if you can't hear me too well. I have tried to shout at myself because of the wind, but it's 1 o'clock and I've just finished off my library session, which actually went really well. I was so productive. I really didn't think I'd be that on it, but I was. So I'm really pleased about that. I've actually decided to go and meet Charlie in town because I need to go to the bank and we've got a few things to refund in H&M that just didn't fit that we bought the other day, and I think we might actually get some lunch whilst we're in town. As I said, it's 1 o'clock, it'll be 1:30 by the time I meet Charlie, and I am absolutely starving. All I've had is those little raspberries and cereal bar, so I could do with some lunch. I'm not too sure where we'll go and eat, but I'll probably just catch up with you when I've located Charlie somewhere in town. Okay, so I can't lie, it's been a little while since I picked up the camera, and I didn't even really film anything really in town, purely just because we had lots of tasks and errands to do, and I just wanted to get them done without having to stop and dawdle and pick up the camera and put it away and so on and so on. So we just got done what we needed to get done and then came home, and since then I've just been chilling on the sofa and procrastinating. But I suppose it wouldn't be a day in the life of a student if I didn't show the procrastination. Now I've decided that I can't procrastinate any longer. It's actually 5:30-ish and we've come upstairs and started to do some more work. I've just flicked through and gone back over those literature tables which I was showing you in the library that I made earlier. I'll show you again now quickly though. So here they are. These are basically the tables that for any assignment, but in particular my dissertation, that I swear by. So I make a table which has the authors' names, the summary of what they've done, what they've found, my thoughts on the article or the paper, the link to the source and the reference, which is something that I'm struggling with at the minute because the uni have just swapped from Coventry University Harvard reference into APA 7th edition. So if anyone out there has got a guide on how to reference like that, then please send it my way because you guys are struggling over here. And now that I've just finished that off, I am finally going to tackle some more research methods. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I hate anything to do with statistics, but I really can't put it off for much longer as I haven't had SPSS working on my laptop at all for the last few weeks. So I'm really behind on my workshops in which we actually complete the statistical analyses. So all I've really been doing is my lectures. So I'm just going to catch up on the lectures for this week. There's 3 mini micro lectures. I've already tackled the one, so I'm going to do the second one now, which is on how to run your one-way ANOVA. And then I might do the third one if my brain can hack it. I'm really terrible at numbers. I did try to look in town for a book on SPSS, but they didn't have it in WH Smith, and I kind of want to read through it before I purchase it offline, but maybe I'm not going to have a choice because I really need all the help I can get. So yeah, that's about it really. No more updates over here, so I need to crack on with this work because it's soon going to be dinner time and I don't want it to reach that point and not have any more work done.
So this was me just making some additional simplified notes on how to run a one-way ANOVA. This is super important in order for me to understand. I then got really scared of this big equation, as you can probably tell. And then I actually tried running the one-way ANOVA, which I'm so happy went surprisingly well, and I actually came out with pretty much exactly the same results as the lecturer, which is always a great outcome, especially when you struggle with statistics and it causes you to cry 10 times a week.
Okay, so I finally managed to do my SPSS lectures. I actually did both of them and I do feel like I've got, I wouldn't say a much better understanding, but I'd say a very basic understanding of how to run a one-way ANOVA. Those lectures should have taken me about 45 minutes, but I'm pretty sure the last time I spoke to you was 5:30 and it's now 7:30, almost 8 o'clock. which is absolutely fine. Like, some things just take longer than others, but it also means that I haven't actually eaten dinner yet, so I'm just gonna cook something really like quick and simple, which I've only recently started cooking, but I think it's definitely gonna be one of the go-tos in this house from now on. And that is like, I don't know what to call it, like a ham and cheese roly-poly. It's something that I saw Stacey Solomon doing on her story, because she always does some like really quick meals, and she always shares good ideas for like meals and things as she's got kids and a busy life. So I figured I'd show you guys on the vlog what it is. So I'm just using the light puff pastry from Asda, and this comes already on like some like baking paper, but don't be fooled, you can't actually cook this, you need to transfer it to your own. I think this is just for like cutting it on, or like, I don't really know, but you basically can't put this in the oven, so don't be fooled by that. And then I've just got some sliced mature cheddar. I know, like, it's so much cheaper to buy a block, but this is very, very convenient. And we've also got some honey roast ham, and I'll basically show you what I'm going to do with these 3 ingredients to make not the best meal in the world, but certainly a tasty one and a quick one. So I've just switched on the oven and put it at 200 degrees. This is at fan temperature. So if you are cooking not on fan, then please follow whatever cooking instructions the pastry says to cook it at. Obviously the ham and the cheese don't actually need cooking, so it's just the pastry that needs to cook. I'm just unfolding this, and I'm going to use the rest of the pastry, as there's not really much point in keeping just whatever tiny little bit is left over. And then I'm basically going to chop it in half. You can just score it with a knife. This sort of baking paper seems to be pretty durable, so don't worry about coming onto your side too much. And then I separate them like this, and basically just whack on the ham and the cheese. Oh, I hate it when the cheese comes out of the fridge and it just breaks in half like that because it's too cold. First world problems. And then you basically just roll it up into what I referred to as a ham and cheese roly-poly. Then I'm just gonna cut them down the middle like that, as this is puff pastry, so it is going to expand. This is basically how it's going to look before you stick it on the baking tray. So this is the final result of the pastry roly-poly things. I don't know the most appetising things in the world, but trust me, they are delicious, especially with a blob of ketchup. We're just going to eat these whilst watching yet another episode, oh wow, focus, of The Big Bang Theory. We are racing through this, season 4 episode 7, but they're literally so easy to watch because they're only 20 minutes each. So 2 episodes of Big Bang Theory later, and a little kitchen tidy, and we've come back upstairs, and I've actually decided not to do any more uni work today. It's now 9:30, and I feel like if I was to do any more statistics, my brain would frazzle. There are like a few other things I can do, but I don't really want to start like a major task right now. So what I'm actually going to do instead is go through all of our receipts, which have been mounting up. There's like 5 or 6 here that I need to go through. Basically, if we go to a shop, one of us will pay on our card, and then we just need to go through and split the costs of any shared items. I'm usually the one that does all of this, and it can take quite some time when I let it build up like this. Sometimes it happens quickly, sometimes it doesn't. So that's going to be my job now, as that's the only maths I can do right now involves a calculator. So that's what I'm going to do now, and hopefully I will be winning in terms of who owes who the most money.
So I spent about 10 minutes or so going through those receipts, and spoiler alert, I was owed the most money, so that was absolutely fantastic. I then watched through my dissertation advice video just to check for any mistakes or bits and pieces that I forgot to edit. So if you haven't checked that out already, then please do, as it's already up and a lot of effort went into that. When doing this, I just double checked my little notepad in which I keep a video schedule of when I'm anticipating each video to go up, and I also plan out my videos in here, so I checked that I ticked everything off the list of what I wanted to include. Then the usual business happened and I got myself ready for bed, which felt really long awaited this day.
Okay, so I have finally left the desk and gotten myself into bed, which feels so good after such a long day. It really does. It is, oh, in 1 minute it will be it's 10:30. It's 10:30. So it's 10:30 and I've just got myself into bed. I do want to say that not every day is like this. Like, this isn't, I don't want to say it's not a typical day, because it kind of is, but not every single one of my days is exactly the same. Like, on Thursdays I have lectures pretty much all day, so I'm pretty much tied to a desk, and there will be no like trip to town in the middle of doing lectures and things. And some days I just don't do anything at all. Like, I probably do a lot less work than this on most days, I can't lie. But yeah, just want to put it out there because I'm not always as productive, and no one should ever feel the pressure to be as productive as this. I mean, some people might think this isn't productive at all, but to me, I'm pretty like gassed with what I've done today. The way that I've been like preparing myself for bed these last 2 weeks, I'd say now, is actually by reading. Reading is something that I love, but I always say that I never have time to do. So I think I've been reading before bed for about 2 weeks now, as I said, and one thing that it's done is dramatically reduce my screen time, which is really, really good because I've been spending far too much time on my phone recently. And it also seems to, of course, 1 second. And it also seems to make me feel a bit more tired earlier on, which is something I've been struggling with recently. So what I'm currently reading, as you may know if you've watched previous videos or checked out my Instagram, is Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. I'm more than halfway through. I've got about 80 pages left, and I did say before that I can't make my mind up whether I love or hate it, and I don't completely love it, but I don't want to use the word enjoying it, but it is, I'm considering it a good read basically. Yeah, I don't really have much to say on it. At some points I feel a bit lost reading it, but then at other points I'm like, oh wow, that makes so much sense. So I'm reading that, and I also have his second book downstairs, which I'll read at some point afterwards. And in the post today actually came this book, Mind Change by Susan Greenfield. Now this was recommended in one of my lectures yesterday, as our assignment is on how technology affects children's development. And this is apparently a really controversial book on how technology causes a generation of children to have autism and other developmental disorders or mental health difficulties. I'm not too sure, can't quite remember. I'll be sure to let you know when I start reading it, but I actually picked that up off of Amazon for a fairly reasonable price, and A, I'll be able to use it in my assignment, which we love an extra cheeky reference, and B, it's always good to get a bit of extra knowledge around the topic area which we are studying. So other than that, I don't really have anything else that I'm going to be doing tonight. As I said, I'm just going to be reading my book and going to sleep, hopefully before midnight. And yeah, thank you for watching this video once again, and if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe down below in the comments. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye!